Pixel.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Grunting Podcast. We don't have Alex. He's visiting family or something. He always something with that Alex character. It's always something. Always like, hey, I want to say hi to my mom and dad I haven't seen in like 4 fucking months. And I'm just like, priorities, right? Jeez. I'm the Grunting Pixel. We have Jared.
What's up?
And Steph.
Hey, it's me.
And we're going to do the normal thing that we've been kind of doing recently, where we're going to just have like the normal podcast where we just talk about some stuff. And then we're going to move on into the question part of the podcast. Alex will be submitting his answers through text, and I will be answering for him because there's some in here that I kind of wanted him to respond to. So we'll see how that goes. So just to prep for that, we'll go with the AJS and have that in there. Does anybody remember the score from the last show?
Nope. I'm pretty sure I only got like 1 point, so I know my score. It's like 3.
I actually was supposed to look it up before we started, and I didn't. So currently you guys have 0 points. I'll add it in later.
I'll figure it out. Okay, so our...
If we even have a total.
You didn't
1
even
second,
do a total.
please.
All right, current points. That's what we're looking at.
All right. So there's the current points.
Wait, I don't
Alex,
trust her.
Alex somehow sprung into... I do, because she made Alex winning. If she didn't... If she was...
make you believe that she had 7 and I had 3.
Steph, that means you only got 1 right
pretty sure
last game.
I only have 2.
Damn.
Gosh, you're such a liar.
Alex, I know, killed it last game. I know that he was absolutely destroying it.
None of them were... Oh, man.
But before we get into that...
It's kind of easy when you can score every round because your questions aren't being asked.
Hey,
some of us have to skip a round of scoring because our question's being asked.
Yeah,
Just saying.
But I don't get to win, so there's that. So, before we get started, I said that like 4 times. Before we get started, I did want to talk about one thing. And this is a follow-up to kind of what we were talking about last week. We seem to be talking about this game a lot. It's kind of weird.
Oh, geez,
but
not this game again.
I completed the division and got into the end game. And had a couple thoughts. We said we would kind of follow up on it. Jared, you like the stories and games and stuff like that, and you were asking what I would give the story of the division. At the time, I said 7. Mm-hmm. I really reduced that. It took a very big downhill turn towards the end, where like literally it ended, and I'm just like, apparently I killed a bad guy, but I didn't even know he existed. Like.
Okay.
I guess I did something at some point.
Is it kind of like an Until Dawn thing where you could kill somebody on accident, or like you can do something on accident, not even know the effect? But okay, you know what I mean.
I mean, I'm not gonna go into spoiler things. They kind of talk about him a little bit, but like they make it out like you're doing this huge thing. But I never felt like in games like, let's say Borderlands 2. This game's freaking old. Forgive me for a little bit of spoilers. Handsome Jack is clearly the villain, and you know who he is. You learn to hate him, all that stuff. And when you get to the end of the game where you have to, have your final engagement, it means something because you've developed this relationship with this character about like what do you think about him and how much of you hate him and stuff like that. This character kind of shows up like halfway through the game and they're like, he's the leader of a group. He's bad. And then you kill him and then that's it. And I'm like, okay, I guess that was interesting, but then how it actually ends, and again, this isn't spoiler.
That actually might be more of a spoiler than you think. Just saying.
There's many bad guys in the game. Trust me. There's 3 groups. It
doesn't matter to me. I don't care.
There's 3 groups of gangs, which are enemies that you fight, and then there's the dude or the group or whatever it is that did the virus. Like there's a bunch. It's pretty open ended, but you literally defeat this guy. The person ends, and then a little thing pops up on your screen that says, you beat the game, do this stuff now, and then a person goes, beating him was a good victory, but we still got a lot to do, so go and clear the streets. And that's the end of the fucking game, and I'm like...
Ouch.
Okay.
Stracky.
That was not good or engaging or interesting in any way, which was unfortunate because it started off on a pretty strong note, so...
So you said it's severely reduced. What is it now?
Yeah, 5 at best. Like that ending was so unsatisfying.
Yikes.
Like about as mediocre as you can get, because that's I guess I should explain this. To me,
Mass
how I
Effect 3
review
bad?
games,
Just kidding.
1 is like the worst you can get. 5 is dead set in the middle. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just kind of mediocre. It's
Somebody
and
out
then
there
10
may think
is
it's an
obviously
awesome
great.
ending, is what you're saying with a
Huh?
5. Somebody out there might think it's an awesome ending with a 5. Like, not you. You thought it was stupid. But with a 5,
No, I was
it's
just
not
explaining.
necessarily-
I was explaining my score because a lot of people think that if the game isn't an 8, it's a bad game, and I was just clarifying that
Yeah,
that's not true in my scoring. 5 is a forgettable thing. Like, if it's 5, it's forgettable. It's not good. It's not bad. It's right in the middle. You either play it or you don't, and then you forget that it happens. That's what 5 means to me. So anything above a 5 is good. Anything below a 5 is bad. That's how my scale works. So,
Okay.
yeah, and I literally beat the game, and I think I've been in end game for like 2 hours, so I don't have a lot to say on the end game. But we were just talking about like, oh, the gameplay versus story, and then I was listening because I was listening back and editing it to post it, and I remember listening to myself go like, yeah, I'd say the story's a 7, and I'm like, not after beating it ain't. Whew.
So, another thing to follow up on would be your oh shit, what's the game? The other game you've been playing, not Dark Souls, but
Bloodborne.
yeah, Bloodborne. You kind of like put that a high ranking at the end of last year, or yeah. So now that you've played more through it, have you beaten it yet?
No, God, no. God, no. Pretty much where I'm at in the Let's Play is as far as I've gotten. I had an alternate character that I was kind of playing for a little bit, but it was actually funny. I was just I play the alt character when I just want to play Bloodborne, is basically what it is. When I want to play it and I don't have the means or the energy or whatever to record. And I was just playing my alt character the other day, and it was kind of funny because it tells you your level and how much time you've played. And the character that I have for the video, I think I'm like 9.5 hours logged on it, and I'm ranked 35. But then my alt character is ranked like 25, and I have like 11 hours. So like for some reason, I've just been going way slower in progress on my alt character. So no, I'm very, very early in that game. So don't really have too much more to add to it. I love it still. Like I was playing it for fun, just because I'm still playing it on the channel, and I wanted to play it so bad that I was like, yeah, I'll just play it for fun, just on the side. I really love it. It pisses me off. It pissed me off.
I kind
but
of.
I love it.
Well, that was kind of one of the things. If the topic fell on me, was to kind of go through some of the games that are new to us that we've been playing in the past few months or whatever. So they're not necessarily new. For instance, Portal 2 is new to me because I've been playing it lately, but it's been out there since 2011. So
go for it. That's all I wanted to talk about on the Division, is I just wanted to update that, like the story.
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to cut you off on your.
No, that's all I wanted to say.
So, well, before I get into that, with the Division, so the story score reduced greatly. Anything else you wanted to add now that you beat it? Like, as far as overall? Well, obviously that's going to affect the overall, but.
I'm still sticking to like a 7 to an 8, so probably 7.5 to an 8.
Okay.
Story isn't a huge deal to me in video games. I play video games because they're games, not because they're interactive novels or stories. Stories are great, and they can totally push an experience like from great to like greater. But they're not vital. Like, I play a lot of games that have no fucking story. I'm sorry, but Mario has absolutely no story. Sure, there's Mario's a plumber, and he's got a brother, and there's a turtle that wants the princess. That's as far as that fucking goes. But it's still a great game, and it doesn't lose any points because it has no story. So that's pretty much me. Like, unless a story was so bad that it somehow made me not want to play the game, I'm never going to deduce points for a bad story.
I think when story is a big factor is when you play a game expecting the story to be the highlight, and the story sucks. For instance, like a Final Fantasy game or something, where you're expecting this epic story to unfold, and then it just turns out to be a big pile of poo.
Yeah, and it does depend on the game. Like if the game is,
but you don't play the Division for the story, is what I'm gathering, which is probably that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, but you play the Division if you're a loot happy fanatic. Like that's the thing about the Division that is so good for me, and the reason that I love it. Sorry, guys, I gotta untangle my headphones just to realize I didn't have this plugged in, so I'm gonna have to do some extra work on my audio to make sure it's not doubled up. Completely forgot. But the Division, in terms of actual gameplay, I would say it's serviceable to good. Like it's not anything that's going to blow your mind. It's not like a Destiny in terms of gameplay or a Battlefield 4 or something like that, where it's like mind-blowingly great. But the thing that keeps you wanting to play the Division is, first off, the world looks absolutely amazing, and it's such a fun game to just look at. But it's just that getting better shit, always improving, min-maxing. This gun does maybe 2% less damage than my other gun, but this one also does 8% more damage to elites than the other perk, which was like it gives you better armor or something like that. Yeah. So there's a lot of just like
a Destiny Borderlands thing. Yeah,
it's very it's actually it's funny. Total Biscuit actually called the game. He said it's Gears of Borderlands, or no, Gears of Warderlands is what he calls it. So I think that's a pretty good descriptor of it. But the thing is I love that. I love loot grinding. I get hooked by that cliche, like, you leveled up and now you're better, Sonny. And I'm just like, yay, I'm better. And like, that really gets to me. It really, works well for me. So that game is just a fun loot. I don't want to say grind, but it's a fun loot cycle. You go through, you do your mission, you do your thing. At the end, you kill the big boss. The pillar of purple comes out. You're like, oh, purples. And you walk up and you're like, oh, these are kind of bad, but this one's really good. And I'll do the next mission and maybe I'll get even better. And it's just, I like that. I hate that I like that, but I like that. So the Division works.
What's wrong with liking that?
Ask the internet.
I'll pass.
Yeah. But no.
Steph, aren't you playing the game? I don't want you.
Honestly, the last thing I played was a couple months ago, and it was a little bit of Star Wars Battlefront 3. Yeah, aside from that, I haven't touched anything. I've been so busy with...
Star Wars Battlefront 3. I was like, what? I didn't know they did 3, and then I realized you meant the new one.
Yeah. I mean, wait, is it called just Star Wars Battlefront?
It's just Star Wars Battlefront.
It's the third Battlefront, though, because there are two.
I'm calling it Battlefront.
There are two prior.
It's the same problem that 2012 Tomb Raider had, where it was just called Tomb Raider, where literally people just call it Tomb Raider 2012, just so they can distinguish it from the first game.
Like Sonic 06, where it's just like, it's Sonic the Hedgehog. It's a great, which atrocity are you talking about? 06.
But at least it said Sonic 2006 in the fucking title. It wasn't just Sonic. Oh, yeah.
I thought it was Sonic the Hedgehog. No, I thought it was just Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, I'm going to inquire the internet.
Let me know.
But yeah, aside from that, I haven't played anything. I recently got super busy at my other job, and just when I get home, I go on and catch up on shows that I've been behind on, and that's pretty much my life right now.
New season of Daredevil's on Netflix, everybody. You can check that out.
I heard about that.
You plugged that yesterday too, or yesterday?
Did I?
Is it that good?
Yeah. When was the last time I talked to you? Oh, last week.
I said yesterday Friday. Like an idiot. No, I like the last podcast. It
came out last Friday, and I was excited about it. Now that I'm watching it, I'm plugging it again to confirm that it is still awesome.
It is still exciting.
And I will plug next week when I'm probably done with it and saying that it is still awesome.
It is.
Yeah, I've been. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was sorry to interrupt.
Let's all talk about different things at once.
It is called Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh,
that's what it's called. So, like Tomb Raider, because it was supposed to be a reboot. It was supposed to be Sonic redefined, but now it's some kind of thing.
Forgive me, internet. I was mistaken.
Sonic the Hyper Gerbil or something.
Sonic the something.
Yeah. Sonic the Wolverine.
Sonic the.
But yeah, no, I've been crazy busy. The thing is like doing this gym thing has already made life like harder because you got 24 hours in the day, deduce 8 of that at least depending on how much you sleep. I need 8 hours. So 16 hours in the day. And then 2 hours of that is the gym. A half hour getting there, gym for an hour, half hour back. So that's 2 more hours out of my day already. And then I have the work that I have to do. And I have to do shit for my parents and stuff like that. And like all this stuff. So like my time has like been decreasing so much. Literally, it has gotten to the point where in the past 2 weeks, I've played 8 hours of video games. And 1.5 of that, no, 2 of that was recording. That's how much I've played for the past 2 weeks. So I really don't have a lot to say in terms of like new games that I've been playing.
Too much of video games, just start a family. That'll pretty much cut
get a kid.
Time.
Pretty much. Yeah. Start a family, get a job, or try to improve your health. Or all
can't do
three.
Everything I want and get 8 hours sleep. Like last night, I couldn't sleep, so I got up and I played some video games that I had downloaded to my Steam, but I never played yet. And I just started playing them. Like that's when I get free time. Is when I can't sleep.
I wish. I wish that I had that problem because, like, for some reason, I need way more sleep than a human should possibly need. Like if I don't get 8 hours, I'm literally for the rest of the day. Like literally.
You get used to it.
I don't.
Get used to it
you'll start drinking 5 hour energies.
I've tried and I don't. My brain just does not. Like my brain is so fucked up from all the surgeries and shit it's had that it's just like I need it to recuperate.
Imagine having a job you have to be at 7 o'clock in the morning. You get off at 4, and then you have to do stuff with the family, but yet you still have to make time for other hobbies and stuff. You just have to cut into your sleep time. It's the only way you're gonna.
I just wouldn't be able to function. Like I would get to work the next day and I'd be like
flop over.
It'd probably suck for a month, but you get used to it. I'm not saying you would, but I mean,
I don't know. I don't know. My brain is a piece of shit.
Noon,
let's test it.
3 o'clock every day when I was in college or whatever. Not college, but when I was a kid. But
calling me a kid.
Anyways.
But anyway, you were talking about
3 days
the
ago.
Portals or whatever. You said you had
the portals.
Well, yeah, like you hear so much about a game, like the thing, like a good example is Half-Life. I've never played Half-Life, but you hear a lot about it. It's one of those games you hear a lot about, and you're like, well, I see previews, like I see the little pictures. I wanted to know what made it great, and I started playing it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know it was this, and so it's just been that is, if you haven't played Portal 2. I don't know if you need to play the first one.
Who hasn't?
Well,
I've played both. I've played both. Portal 1 and 2. Portal 2 is a fantastic game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like even if you don't like puzzlers, it's worth going through just for the dialogue. Mm-hmm. Like just the characters and everything. God,
like,
Wheatley is such a fucking
when I
genius.
do a recording on it, my job's made easy because of all the fantastic dialogue in the game. I just have to sit there and laugh at it. I mean, it's just a well done game. The concept is awesome. And
you ever played the first one?
It works. No, I was gonna go back and play I wanted to play the popular one first to see, to
you
make
better
sure
be saying the first one, right? Because the popular was the first.
But now that I've played the second one, I'm gonna be like, well, I think it's worth going back to the first one and playing it, which is what I probably do.
Portal 2 was one of those rare occasions where the sequel was actually just better in every way. Portal 1 is a fantastic game, but the puzzles are improved in 2. The writing is improved in 2. Like, all of it's improved in 2, but that doesn't mean that Portal 1 is any lesser. Portal 1 was amazing, and there's a reason it got a sequel, but I do wonder if you'll enjoy the first one a little bit less, seeing as you played the second one first.
Well, but I went into the second one knowing that it was the more popular and it was probably going to be the better. But that's not... And I will go into playing the first one knowing that, and, I will still give it the appreciation it deserves, because it is what, without the first one,
it's
you don't have the second one.
It's still great. It still has some really clever writing and lines and stuff like that. And GLaDOS is a great character. Wheatley is just better, but it doesn't make GLaDOS not a 9 out of 10 character. You know what I mean? Like, she's still fucking great.
It's funny because little tidbit of information. I've been playing the Lego Dimensions with a kid. I'm not going to go into spiel about it, but at the end of Lego Dimensions, GLaDOS actually sings a song to the credits, and it's awesome. I love it. But anyways, because Portal 2 is in Lego Dimensions. But anyways, the other thing I wanted to mention on this subject was the my lack of playing Fallout 3. This has never happened in a
Three
Fallout
or four.
game.
3 or 4.
Or 4, sorry.
I was going to say.
I've played Fallout 3, I've played Fallout New Vegas, and those were the games where it didn't matter what I was doing, I always wanted to play it until I completed it 100% and get all the achievements, all that stuff. I'm not getting that same feeling from Fallout 4, and it's really bumming me out because like when I come home, like for my lunch break, I got an hour to do something. Fallout 4 is not on the top of my list, and that bothers me that it's not on top of my list. And so, in bad news games I've been playing lately, Fallout 4 is kind of teetering down. I'm at a point in the game where I'm kind of at like the end, but I'm waiting for something to happen, but it's not happening. And so I'm repeating stuff, and that repetition is driving me insane. And so I just kind of put it on the back burner, and I hate that I'm saying that about a Fallout game. So
I have a funny little
good news and bad news.
A funny little tidbit for Fallout 4. I haven't played Fallout 4 in months.
What do you got? Something written down?
What did you? Yeah, like a calendar.
You'll see why I looked there for a second.
Of his games.
No, you'll see why I looked there in a second. I haven't played it in months, and do you want to know what the reason literally is? Is because I have a new computer. It's on my old computer with mods, so I can't transfer the save. And I just don't. I literally just have not been bothered to reinstall the mod program, reinstall every mod, and then just continue playing. I've just kind of gone like, I'll get to it later.
I don't have that.
That's literally the reason why I've stopped.
Well, I mean, I've never played Fallout with mods, any of them, and I played this current Fallout is on PS4, so that's not like a deterrent for me. But like, I don't know what it is, but like if you look on my Xbox 360, you'll see my achievements for Fallout. I've got like all of them. I got like 1,500 out of 15 for both of the games, or at least as close as possible as I could get. I have all the DLC, and I don't have that same motivation for this game. I don't know if it's because of the PlayStation's trophy system or just because, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old, and that's even scarier.
That's probably what it is, to be completely honest, because I've had the same issue where there's games like Fallout 3 is a great example. I pretty much completionisted that game twice. I'm only missing a couple achievements, and they're literally the achievement for reaching a certain level with a certain karma, and it's neutral and negative because I always play the good character. And those are the only achievements I don't have. But even if I had Fallout 4 on this thing, I'm sure I'd play it a lot more, but I don't know if I'll ever beat it. Mostly because there's just so much to fucking do.
Yeah.
And like, I'm a completionist. I don't want to keep going through the story until I finished everything else. But there's so much everything else. There's so much to explore. And then there's the renewing quests that never end where I'm just like, I'll just do one more. I'll just do one more. And I never get anywhere.
Sorry. Maybe a lot of it is because like I'm at a point in the game where like I don't want to progress with a certain faction because I've already committed to a faction, but maybe I committed to the faction prematurely because I'm thinking maybe I need to like have done missions with other factions or something because the game's not progressing and I don't know why. So I'm just doing these missions for this one faction in hopes that the game will progress because there is no quote unquote main mission. It's all just faction quests. Because I did
beat the
everything
game and not know it.
No, well, I don't think I've beaten the game because.
How funny would that be? You end up doing exactly like the Division, where it's like, I guess the game's over now.
You know when you beat a Fallout game because the guy's talking and there's like the pictures and the silhouettes, whatever. And
War.
So they tell you,
changes.
he traversed the wastelands forever or whatever. I don't know. I'm not at that point, and I know I'm not at that point, so it's evident that I'm not at the end.
I'm gonna laugh so hard if you beat the game.
But the big spoiler that you probably know about has been revealed to me. So
I've barely played the campaign in Fallout 4. Like, okay. I literally haven't even gotten to the point where I have to choose a faction yet. Like, I am so early in that game's story, it's not even funny.
Oh, okay. And you're like, what, level 360?
I don't even remember.
Nothing but
like
side quests.
20s, maybe? I have no idea. Maybe 30s? I have no fucking clue. It's been a long time. Like I said, it's probably been months and months because
mine has to be a slow progression because I need story, but I need to like be moving forward. Like if it's just me doing a whole bunch of side quests, I'm eventually gonna get burned out. So I need.
It's pretty much what happened
every
to me.
once in a while. I'll do a little bit of the main story, and then I'll go back to doing random stuff. And that's usually how I play a Fallout game. And,
I literally
this one,
have
I don't know.
I had the exact same problem with that. What was it called? The 38 Studios?
Kingdoms of Amalur.
Kingdoms of Amalur, yeah. Where that game was so big, and pretty much all I was doing was side missions until there was nothing else to do but the main mission, and then I would move on to a new area and then do only side missions. And I just stopped playing the game because I'm like 80 hours into this game. I've experienced everything there is, and there's still half a game to go. Like, I just, there is, to me, such thing as a game that's just too big. Yeah, and I think Fallout fits in that. I think that Grand Theft Auto fits in that. I think, like, these games are meant for people.
It's funny you bring that up because Grand Theft Auto is another game. Sorry to interrupt.
I did beat Grand Theft Auto, but I didn't completionist it at all. I got through the story, but that was it. But there's some people who they're like, I get one game for 6 months. That's what I get. I get that one game. That's all I can do for the next 6 months. These games are meant for those people because then they can just keep playing it, keep consuming, and keep going and keep going. For me, because I'm able to get more than one game every 6 months, I've kind of like grown out of that, where it's like, okay, I got everything out of this one. New experience. I think that's just something that comes with the more you play, the more you play.
With that. 100% agree with that because that is exactly what I'm going through, and it wasn't the case. I don't know, 5 years ago even. Yeah,
I mean, even like 2 or 3 years ago, that wouldn't have been
back when we played on the 360. That wasn't the case.
Yeah.
But so Stephanie hasn't played a new game, but I noticed you've been playing a lot of the just random games. You played the one where it was I forget the name of the game, but you're collecting slime poop.
Slime Ranchers. That was actually, if you look, I recorded that I think 2 months ago. that was recorded a long time ago, and I just kind of sat on it and hadn't had a chance.
It's vaguely new. I mean, it's the new year to now. So I mean, these are games that we've played that are semi new to us. So just kind of like out of all of these games we've played, just kind of any ones that stuck out or any that you wanted to mention or anything.
The thing is for me, since Christmas, I've only played a handful of games. Halo 5, I've been playing a lot of that. Actually, I haven't played it recently, but I was playing a lot of that. The Division, played a good amount of that. A little bit of Slime Rancher and Bloodborne. That's pretty much all I played for the past.
I know for a fact you played at least 2 more games than that because you've sent them out on your Grunting, and maybe they weren't within that time.
I played a bit of Contagion. I did play a bit of Contagion. What was the other one?
It was just another like cartoony-ish one that was surprisingly violent. Was the title?
Hotel Miami.
Oh yeah, I played Hotline Miami.
Why do I say
that was what it was.
But Contagion and Hotline Miami, I've only played for videos. I haven't actually gotten back and revisited them, which is probably why they quickly got shit out of my brain.
So not even worth talking about.
No, I mean, they're great games. I just don't have time. I just don't have time to play these games. Like if this was me literally that 1 year after high school before I went to college, where I literally did fucking nothing for an entire year, it would be a completely different story because I'd be playing a million games. I just don't have time for these games anymore. I get 45 minutes at best a day. So I can't play a lot of games. I'm just kind of picking some and just kind of sticking with them.
My advice to those of you who have maybe transitioned into your career job or come up across money would be just because you have a lot of money and new games come out, don't buy them. Finish the games you're playing, enjoy them, and then wait till those games are cheaper and buy them then. Because, and I know that's easier said than done, but like I have The Witcher. I still have Dragon.
That's another one. I played.
Dragon Age?
I played as far as you saw in The Witcher.
Finished.
I played as far as you saw on The Witcher on my channel, and that's as far as I've gotten.
Oh my god!
But I love
like
that game.
I think I played another extra hour or two, but really that's about as far as I got.
But so I mean, like The Witcher, the Dragon Age, and see, it's been so long I couldn't even remember the name. Assassin's Creed. That's probably more of a me than anybody else. But you know, like all of these games that I have just sitting there collecting dust, and you know, I could have just waited. You know?
Well, it doesn't help that 2015 had a record for the amount of games that came out during that year. I saw an article or something talking about it. If I remember correctly, 4,500 games came out in 2015 alone.
That is insane.
Where I think the next highest was like maybe 2011, and I think it was a third of that.
Jeez.
Or maybe it was 2010. Like, there is just a fuckload of games coming out now. And now most of them are like, you know, green light or early access games and stuff like that. Like, it's not like a million more AAA games are coming out, but there's still. We were talking just about.
Age we're in, man. I mean, just games are pooping out every day.
But not only that, there's still a lot of AAAs coming out. Like, I mean, if you looked at last year when we were talking about it, and we were talking about a list of games to go over for reviewing, I mean, we had like 30 of them that were AAA. 30. I remember when 2007 was a thing, and we were excited because there was like 15. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy.
The gaming industry has grown to like an absurd degree.
Yeah, I think that's funny because isn't it like I think I remember when Xbox 360 came out and the PlayStation 3 came out, the argument was the game lineup and it was like 10 games was like the game lineup. It was like, oh, we're gonna have 10 games.
Wow, whopping 10.
Like I remember when 2007 was a thing, and it's just like we got BioShocks and our Halo 3s, and there was like 2 or 3 other games, and I'm like, that many great games are coming out this year? Wow! And like now it's like we go and we look back like just this year, and it's like, oh, you got Dark Souls 3, you got your not Metal Gear, Uncharted, you got your Gears of War, you got your all these different games that are coming out just this year. I mean, it's like 10 or 12 to 15 like AAA huge games that are coming out this year, and it's like I'll never play all those. I just never will. I want to, but I'll never be able to play them all. And even if I do, it'll be like 10 minutes, like always.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be hypocritical, and I'm going to buy Uncharted when it comes out, even though I got 18,000 games to play.
That's funny. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and make a fucking mess over here. Where did I? Hold on. You guys are seeing behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. What's behind that card?
I just put this game in last night and turned it on just to get the settings set up. I still have yet to play it. But with Uncharted coming out soon, I'm going to attempt to get through this, which is all the other Uncharted games.
Good luck.
My wife has actually requested that I do that.
It comes out.
And it's not going to happen.
I have never played any of these. Never played a single Uncharted. No. You know what? Here, you want to know my extent of Uncharted? I played the first one as a demo on the PlayStation 3 at a Walmart. It's like 5 minutes of it. I've never, because I didn't have a PS3. I just didn't. Like, it was $600, and then by the time it was appropriately priced, I was just all in love with my Xbox 360.
It's the the new Tomb Raiders, Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's that game.
No, I know what it is. Yeah.
But the story is better, in my opinion. I haven't finished the new Tomb Raider, but like, it's a story that's involved enough to where my wife watched me play the entire second Uncharted.
Well, then she might,
and it has to be very story heavy for my wife.
She might like Uncharted 4 then, because there's dialogue choices now in Uncharted. Yeah, so and that's she'll be able to choose.
Well, she's already seen the commercials and said you can't play that without playing with me. So I have to get it on a console now. So.
You know, that's like the second best choice, because there's a lot of people who are like video gamers or whatever, and they'll like get with people that couldn't give a fuck about it, and there's like, in the spectrum of like the worst scenario to like the best case scenario, the best case scenario is a girl who's just as like avid of a gamer as you are. And then like the next best is like, they don't play games, but they enjoy watching you play them. Like, that's like the next step down. on that
she's
scale.
Probably a little bit lower than that. She doesn't enjoy watching me play games, just certain ones that have a story that
Better than none, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, she reads a lot of books and stuff. She's a very avid story person, just like me. But it has to be like her favorite game she's ever watched me play is Final Fantasy X. To this day, we even will talk about it sometimes. So,
Cool.
But if you don't play Final Fantasy, you won't know what I'm talking about. So, I don't know. But the other, just some quick tidbits, some other games I've played for the Wii U with my kid, and this I play more with my kid than I do anything else. The two games are the Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U and the Lego Dimensions, which is for every console, but we play it for the Wii U. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that if you've got deep pockets, Lego Dimensions is an awesome game. If you don't have deep pockets, it's going to be kind of an average playthrough time because you're not going to be doing any of the side stuff because it won't be unlocked because you won't have the characters to unlock it.
Today I learned Jared has deep pockets.
Well, it was, I'm going to say that 90% of the money that was spent on that game was right after income tax return time. So It's not like I had that money.
I was just
because Andrea gets some of it, I get some of it, Joe gets some of it. Joe spends his on that. Anyways,
where's my change? My chunk.
Oh, and then Atreyu gets some of it, but he has to come over here and suck my dick to get it. So
that's why I still haven't gotten it.
Yeah, you've got quite a build up.
He's got to work for it.
Here.
Interest.
But I don't know. I'm not going to go into it because I mean it's a great kid. It's a great kid. It's a great game.
It's a great kid.
It's a great game.
Great
It is a great kid.
With your kid or with somebody else. It's only 2-player to play with like a kid or or whatever. It's probably not for the Halo fan, the hardcore gamer. Not for you, but you probably already know that from all the other Lego games.
I actually am interested in playing Lego Dimensions. The big turnoff for me is the fact that it's one of those you have to pay for the individual pieces.
It's Skylanders for Legos. Is basically what it is.
You could do the whole game without it. It comes with 3 characters, and there's a lot of building. You can build. You get to build the little dimension thing, and you build the Batmobile, and then you have Batman and what's her name? I'm drawing a blank for whatever reason. Firestar,
Spider-Man,
and then Gandalf, and you can play through the entire single player with those people. In fact, if you're playing with other people, the cutscenes will still show them through the entire main game. But then there's like all these little portals, like a room of all these different little portals you can go through, and you can only go through those portals to do the side games,
otherwise known as
if you
DLC.
have the character that pertains. Yes, it's this kind of the same thing.
That's the thing.
But there are some characters that come with actual additional levels and storyline with them. But yes, it's like anywhere between $7 to $20 you're paying to get these extra things,
and the season pass is only $500.
It's plus you have to give them a kidney.
Yeah. That's the thing. I've always wanted to try the Disney Infinity game,
it looks
Skylanders to a certain degree, but I really, really wanted to play the Lego Dimensions. But that's the thing. Like, I don't want to buy all these pieces. If I had the money, I'd go ahead and do it because I'm a huge I'm a huge collector in like little figurines and things like that. But like, I don't do it because it's really expensive. I used to do it. With some of the Gears of War stuff that I've got going on here, and some other figurines from other franchises, but like I had to stop because A, I just don't have the room, and B, I just don't have the money. So like a game like Lego Dimensions would be perfect because it's something to look at and it's functional, but at the same time it's like money versus space versus I just can't commit myself to that, which sucks because I know the Lego games are solid. So it's
what I'm curious about.
Don't buy it then because you will waste money on it. It's pretty much guaranteed.
I know.
What I'm curious about
I'll ship my stuff to you when my kid gets bored with it. Sorry.
There we go.
No, what I'm curious about is I used to be like kind of a collector, like. If a scale of 1 to 10 on a collector is 1 is like I have one thing that I have 4 of, and 10 is like I'm drowning in all the stuff that I collect. I was like a 2 in terms of collectors, like very, very limited. And since I moved 4 times in 4 years, I've pretty much just thrown out everything. I don't want much material, anything. And Steph is literally the opposite, where she's like, I got all these magazines, and I got all these books, and I got all these things. And I'm just waiting for that moment where we both just end up in one place with all of our stuff. And we just have to figure out how we're going to deal with this. Because it's going to be like, it's going to be a room like this big. It's going to be a room like this big, and I'm going to have this square, and then Steph's going to have all of that.
You're like cluttered with like junk and stuff. Like, here's the thing. I've tried
the thing is like the thing that's going to bother me the
to...
most is like Steph's going to come home, and she's like, look what I brought home. And I'm like,
it's like bags.
We don't need that shit in our house.
I need it.
It's just nonsense. The problem is I come from a family of pseudo hoarders, and I'm just so sick of it. So like, have
you guys ever seen the show?
Both of my parents are. No.
A show called Yes Dear. It's an episode where he stores all of his old stuff in a storage, you store it kind of places. I highly recommend you watch it because I think that's going to be one of you down the road.
Oh no, I will never. That's one thing. I will never buy storage or rent storage because if I do, things are going to end up there, and that's. The kind of the rule I like to play where it's like if it has to go in storage, you have to get rid of it. Like that because I don't want to pay money for something that I'm not going to see, nor because chances are I'm going to forget I even have it in the first place. So it's just a waste of money overall. So that's kind of like the rule I kind of like abide by, where it's like if I'm not going to be looking at it
in the show, like there was a guy in the container next to him who like has all his Star Wars stuff. His wife made him get rid of all his Star Wars stuff, so he's dressed as Chewbacca and whatever, and he just goes there and like role plays as a Star Wars character because he's just like that's his getaway time, and all of his Star Wars shit's in a storage container, and like that as scary as it is, I can see that happening if it gets out of control with a lot of marriages.
No, like
especially mine.
I just don't want clutter. And like here's the thing is I bought limited editions and legendary editions of stuff. Like I have the Halo 3 legendary edition. I have the Halo Reach legendary edition. I have the Gears of War 3 legendary edition. Like I have all these things. But they're either in a box or I put them on a shelf and I maybe see them once a week. And it's just like, why do I have this? Why do I feel the need to just put stuff in an area that just takes up space and adds for clutter? I don't need it. Get out of my life. Get out of my fucking life. So that's just my stance on it. But
don't marry somebody who's the opposite of you, and then I'll be done. Like, so my wife, if she sees clutter, she'll take it, she'll throw it away.
Oh my god, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mom's
that's gonna be me.
And I'm
that's
just
gonna
like,
be
whenever
so
she
bad.
comes over, I'm like, oh, don't touch
paper,
anything.
It was actually the warranty to something. She's like, oh, I thought that was garbage. I threw it out.
Oh no, I won't do that. I won't do that. And like, I'm not gonna if Steph brings home like a stack of like figurines, I'm not gonna just grab them and throw them in the trash.
Oh well, no, she wouldn't do that with figurines, but like a piece of paper that like I need like let's say a registration for a warranty for a product or something. If it's just kind of laying around.
But see, the thing is you don't leave it laying around. You get yourself a little filing box and you put them in your file. You organize that shit.
Yeah, I have a section in my room that has like all the shipping boxes. Yeah,
the table next to my chair is my filing. It's the first step.
My house is my filing box.
Yeah.
It's a really big filing box.
Yeah. But,
Jared made a point last time that we didn't have enough time for questions, so I'm gonna have to cut off here, guys. We're getting cut off. So there's gonna be a quick cut. It looks like Alex submitted his answers. I'm going to go ahead and grab those, put them on this piece of paper, and then we'll get started. So ignore this. And we're back. But Alex didn't reply to all the questions, so I'm going to prioritize the ones that he did first so that we have answers for it. So, question number 1. If you had a kid, what kind of shows/cartoons would you like to have them watch? We'll start with Alex. Alex said 3 answers, which was Hey Arnold, Rocket Power, and Cat Dog.
So basically the 90s cartoons?
Pretty much. Basically, it's pretty much for him.
I believe I'm next on the list.
Sure.
Seen as Alex is refusing to give a further explanation. He didn't
even answer all the questions, so he must be busy.
I would say Looney Tunes, the classics. And since I have a kid, I kind of SpongeBob because he watched it a lot, and because he's watched it a lot, I've watched it a lot, and for whatever reason, I've come to like it. And the old X-Men cartoon. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
That one, but back in the day, like the 90s X-Men.
Okay, neat.
I wish whoever wrote this question would have defined what a kid is, because are we talking 6? Are we talking 10? Are we talking
he could be
4?
18, but he acts like a kid.
Yeah. Are we talking Jared?
Jared? I don't know. I'm guessing it's like your offspring. I'm guessing like
It doesn't. The answer doesn't change.
Yeah.
It would for me,
sure.
but
Like,
I'll just
today,
pick somewhere in the
still-
middle. I'll pick somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Steph, go.
All right. This is a good question. Well, here's the thing. I watch a lot of cartoons nowadays because I'm really big into cartoons. I think I would show them.
Gravity Falls, Gravity Falls, and
No.
SpongeBob.
No, I would definitely show SpongeBob at least the first 3 seasons before the movie, because I know those are timeless. Like, I think those are just like Looney Tunes, where it's just like, it doesn't matter what your age, you're gonna enjoy it. Like, even kids could watch it. I could watch it and be okay with it.
It's the Looney Tune of its age.
Yeah, it really is. So I definitely would show them like Looney Tunes, because I mean that's still that I enjoyed it a lot as a kid, so I'm sure they would enjoy it too. I would also show them the original Scooby-Doo cartoon, because I used to watch that like religiously when I was a kid, and I really enjoy that too. And if my kid ever turns out like me, they would probably enjoy that too. So like SpongeBob, Scooby-Doo, Looney Tunes, and I guess I would show them some of the, like, I guess now would be modern. You know, I'm sure future there would be new stuff, but like, I guess I would show them, like, when they're slightly older, I guess. Maybe some shows like Steven Universe and, like, I don't know what other good shows are out there. Because I would like to show them Gravity Falls, but I feel like the age demographic for that would be something closer to, like, a kid who would watch, like, I guess the Toonami lineup, like the older, like, teen kid shows or something like that. Teen Titans, yeah. Like, if they're a teenager, like, I would totally be down to watching Teen Titans with them. Yeah. Or, like, you know,
I like Phineas and Ferb too, but I only had 3, so.
You know, I haven't seen. I hear good things about Phineas and Ferb, but I haven't, gotten around to seeing that show. So it might be something that like we'd watch together. I
started watching them on my own.
Yeah, really? Okay, wow, it's that good.
I love cartoons, man. I'll admit it. I don't care.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, like just a bunch of like nice, colorful. Like I really like showing like the nice, colorful kid cartoons because.
Yeah, but if you have like a toddler, like it's gonna change because then they have like Bubble Guppies and the Nick Jr. stuff.
Oh, right. For Nick Jr., I don't know. I don't know what I would show them. I don't think I'd show them anything from the Nick Jr. like now lineup. I think I would show them if I can get a copy of like Blue's Clues. I'd also show them Barney because I used to be big with Barney too.
That's dangerous territory because if they fall in love with it, you're gonna be watching it over. And over.
But that's the thing. But the thing is that with Blue's Clues and like Barney, there's such a large.
Over again, but I can't watch Blue's Clues over.
I guess so. It's just there's such a large like library of episodes where it's just like, you want to watch Blue's Clues? Okay, let's watch an episode we haven't seen before.
I guess.
And I would show them like Sesame Street for sure. Like that is something that like even when they're super young, they can watch too, and the Muppets to an extent. And I'm trying to think of like shows that I've watched as like
The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead, there we go. Game of Thrones, fantastic for like 3-month-old.
You guys are starting to take my answers.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe a little bit of Rick and Morty. I hear that was great too. Maybe some Family Guy. You want some quality cartoons,
of course. Yeah,
just a South Park.
Oh, guys, I figured we picked like 2 shows, not 45.
Wait, you said 30, right? Not 3, right? I just want to make sure that we're clear.
All right, but that's my answer. Pretty much like younger age group would be like the PBS Kids show, like Hey Arnold, or not Hey Arnold, sorry, Arthur.
You cut off. You're cut off. You're cut off. We're cutting off this. We're cutting this off.
Okay.
We're cutting this off.
All right.
You get 3 answers, okay? Not 30.
Okay. All right.
So that's my 3 answers and her 3 answers.
Yeah, you guys actually completely fucked up my joke. I was gonna be like, I don't know. For me, it would be Game of Thrones, True Blood, and what was that other one? The oh shit, I just lost it.
Vampire Diaries.
Walking Dead. Walking
It's like
Dead?
a hillbilly one where the guys like kill a bunch of people and like murder them for like revenge or something. I don't remember. Whatever.
That sounds like a lot
is it
of
a movie
different
or a
things.
TV?
I thought it was a TV show, but I know there's a movie similar. I don't know. Whatever. Fuck it.
American Horror Story. There we go.
Fuck it.
That's
What
cool.
would you actually show them?
I don't know. I don't really watch any of this shit anymore. So like,
But, like,
my
when you were a
memory is
kid-
very loose.
okay.
I like horror movies and horror anything. So Goosebumps would probably be somewhere in
There
there.
we go. Are you
for
afraid of
them.
the dark?
I never watched that. I only watched Goosebumps.
Did you ever
Yeah.
watch the show So Weird?
No, never even heard of it.
Oh no, I think it was on Disney programming. It was pretty much in the same vein as Goosebumps, where like it's a bunch of weird paranormal stuff. It's more closer to American Horror Story, where like it's a bunch of like individual like mysteries featuring like a different cast of characters. Well, I guess the same thing with Goosebumps too, where it's just a bunch of paranormal stuff, and chances are 9 times out of 10 they're probably trying to kill somebody, and it's like we gotta solve this paranormal thing, like help the ghost or whatever to make this thing stop. I remember watching it a lot when I was a kid. I don't remember much about it, so.
Yeah,
But
I mean, like I said,
it's
it'd probably be like Goosebumps, like Scooby-Doo, and then I don't know, the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know.
Yeah, there we
Oh,
go.
Whatever.
Teenage Ninja Turtles, forget about Ninja
I barely remember any of it. Like I have
the
no
new
fucking-
Ninja Turtles is awesome. The one
I
that's,
do. I
that's
hear
on
good things
Nickelodeon
about
now.
it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's freaking awesome. Anyway, sorry. This is what you get for asking the question to a guy who actually was a kid. So that's your own fault. That's what I'm gonna say, and I'm done.
All right, so who submitted that question? Alex
what
didn't
is
pick, so he
Alex?
gets no points.
Okay.
Okay,
Gotta be on the
I think-
podcast to get points.
I think that was the internet.
Okay.
I think that is Jared.
It was Steph.
It was me.
Steph picked it.
I did. I was here thinking
I was leaning towards you, but then I'm like, well, she wouldn't pick something that I have a kid with because it would. Oh, maybe she would. I don't know. I didn't think about that much.
I'm
Apparently,
I'm not planning on having a kid, but it's one of those things where it's like, if you did, like, because like here I'm
See,
thinking
that's
like
called
most
throwing
of
you
shows,
off, Jared. She
Wait,
did it on
hold
purpose.
Why
Yeah.
did Steph get a point for that though?
'cause
She
it was my
did.
question.
Because it's her question.
My question.
Wait, so you get a point for your question being asked?
We did this last week, Jared.
Yeah, because like
I
I
don't
can't
remember.
guess. I can't guess that it was
Yeah.
me because like I
Yeah.
know the
See,
answer. You know.
It was you get a point for it just because, I mean, why would you lose a point for having your...
Well, then
or
why
would you
don't?
not...
So the only 3 points that I have are because I've had 3 questions asked.
No, that's not even close.
So I don't. I'm sorry.
You've
just help me
gotten
figure
correct
this out.
questions before. You've gotten correct answers
So if it's my question, how do I get a point?
by having it be your question.
That means you haven't asked any of Jared's question yet?
Yeah. So I've.
What
gotten
are you
3
talking
points
about?
because-
He has only 3 points, meaning
I only have
either
3
A.
No,
points.
we
only-
did that. We started this last week. It wasn't the first week's one. We did this last week. We started it.
Started what? We've been doing this
Oh,
for
giving
Adding a
the
point
answer-
to the fucking... When you answer the question, when the question's yours.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, so the first time we did it, you didn't get a point.
Yeah,
for it
no,
being
not
yours.
the first,
Yeah.
not the first session. Only last session and now this one.
Oh, I see. So that's kind of bullshit.
You
I'm
should
pissed.
retroactively give Jared points.
I'm gonna give him a
because of the-
fucking bullet to the brain. 1 second, I have to pee.
Hey, welcome back. Okay, so
Wait a minute.
Jared and I, we got into a little conference, had some donuts,
powwow.
coffee, little powwow, team effort, and we've decided to do an addendum to a clause. I don't know if that's the right phrase to use, but
Let me write it down on the piece of paper.
just write it down, yeah. Okay, so normally we would have that if you submitted a question, you would automatically get a point for that question, but we saw how unfair that was, especially if you ask an uneven amount of questions. So Jared suggested
Well, the reason that we did it initially was so it'd be not influence, but it would be... What's the word I'm looking for?
Incentive to ask?
Incentive, thank you.
Okay,
it would be an
to ask
incentive to
questions.
send fucking questions in. That's pretty much what it was. So, I don't mind changing it, but...
But
That's
so,
why I was there.
Jared suggested
the
that
more you go ahead. Sorry.
that if you guess correctly who asked the question, you get a point. However, if no one figured out who it was, then the person who asked the question will get a point. So there's a bit of like,
And if
throw them
everybody
off.
guesses, you get negative point. No,
The only thing that I'm worried about is I'm afraid that people are going to start deliberately picking questions that, they'd never think I asked this. And it just might...
Isn't that the point?
Well, isn't that
No,
the point?
what you want?
the point was to ask questions and then see how well your friends knew you. That was
but
the point.
Point's always been for nobody to guess you. So
No.
I mean, it's just
That's not the point of
well,
it. It's never
well,
been
but
the
if
point
it's-
of it.
Well, I mean, so either the point is like, is this a question that he or she would ask, which is kind of hard.
It was
to
just
guess
a little
anyways.
fun little game to see how well you knew your friends. That's all it was. There was
If you're
We're
gonna
all
start
competitive here.
awarding points for shit, I'm gonna start putting,
You're gonna start
it's just
gaming
how
the
I am.
system, you motherfucker.
I can't help it, man.
It's all good.
It's gonna
all
get.
good.
It's gonna
already
be thrown
typing up
into
the word.
anarchy.
We'll
Oh my
move
God.
on with this new thing, and we'll just see how it goes. If I really start feeling like people are putting questions like that wouldn't make any sense, then we'll revisit it.
I'm gonna
But
put the same questions regardless. You can go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that
That's
right now.
fine.
But anyways, go ahead.
that's fine. The next question: would you rather be blind or mute? Alex said he would rather be blind. He did not clarify why. He just said he'd rather be blind. So you guys can make up your own story. Headcanon that shit.
Okay, so I think I'm next on the list. I would rather be mute. And the reason is because that's a really tough one. The reason why I choose mute is because I can't do my job if I can't see. Like
To me, this was a no contest. Like, I
Same
knew
here.
exactly what my answer would have been as soon as I read it. So,
Like I need to see, and I need to be able to hear, and but to not be able to talk, man. Whew, man, I love to talk.
I love talking too.
But yeah,
It would
I'd
be-
have to go just because of time restraints. I'd have to say mute. Or I mean,
Yeah.
I would not be blind.
Yeah, I would choose mute 100 times out of 100 because if I can't talk, then I can't talk. If I can't see, I can't watch shows. I can't read. I can't play video games. I can't search the internet. I mean, you literally, like, everything that you do goes away when you go blind.
Yeah, but I actually read you couldn't do your podcast either because
No, I wouldn't be able to do my podcasts.
I read an article in Game Informer about a blind man who has completed Zelda Ocarina of Time, and he did it all through YouTube and stuff, and comments and stuff, and he so you could still technically do podcasts.
That's way more fucking effort than
That's
just not being able
insane.
to
So you
talk
would
anymore.
stop
Cool,
gaming
but
if you went
insane.
blind tomorrow?
Probably, yeah. So honestly, if I went blind tomorrow, I'd probably stop breathing. But I mean,
Well, yeah, you'd probably shoot yourself.
yeah, I mean, that would probably, I'd probably find a
That's music.
nearest puddle to like flop into and drown in. So, like,
Well, same thing with mute, but anyways.
no,
I'm sorry.
I could deal with being mute. I could live my life being mute. It would suck. But if I had to
Yeah.
lose any sense, and talking isn't a sense, but I'm gonna throw it in there. If it was lose hearing, sight, touch, taste, smell would go first, then taste, then the ability to speak. To me, like it would be one of the first ones that goes out because
That's, like,
I
the
need
same
to be able to
order for
hear,
me.
I need to be able to see, and I need to be able to touch shit. Like that's just staying. Like, sorry, no contest.
Yeah,
For
I'm
me.
gonna go with mute as well because I can still hear.
Right.
So I'll be able to hear people. The thing is that like a lot of my stuff relies on visual aids and visual, cues. Like I draw, I play games, I watch shows. And if I can hear and see, that's great. That's golden. When I'm mute, I mean, that would kind of suck because I won't be able to communicate as efficiently. However, I
Right.
can still write. I can still see things, and there is sign language.
I would just
can learn.
become an expert at typing, and I would just get Microsoft Sam, and I would do the podcast that way.
Probably
Hello,
that. Yeah, exactly.
I am a robot. Like I would just do that.
Yeah. And there is sign language,
Can you
so I
imagine
can
a
still
Let's Play like
communicate
that?
with people in person.
I'm playing
Yeah.
Bloodborne. You see me attack a couple times, then I run off into like the corner, and I just type out a response, and then run back into. That'd be funny.
There we
Or
go.
it's like Stephen
I have-
Hawking's like, "Hello, I love this game. It is awesome. I am and time
Theory
is
of
fun."
relativity. That was
It's like
Einstein.
completely misquoting you.
Yeah.
That is a fun axe and head. Fun times.
In addition to that, I think I would be better. I'd better communicate my thoughts through text and sign language because I don't want to say I have a speech impediment, but speaking can sometimes be a challenging task for me because the way my brain works, where like I kind of think of like 3 sentences at the same time and kind of stumble on my words. And speaking has been like frustrating for me because I can never really, unlike text where like I can see the words and kind of like revise things, with speaking it's very difficult. I have to like do things on the fly, and as mentioned before, I have a tendency to review things 3 or 4 times before actually doing them. So in speaking, you kind of have to do that on the fly, and it's absolutely like, it's terrible because I can't like sit there, think, and then just speak, because that really slows down the pace.
Strong argument.
Yeah, so like I'm like, it's better if I just stop talking, because talking is probably one of the worst ways to communicate with. I mean, I can't say that because like I can still talk to people and I can still communicate, but it's so difficult sometimes. It's Go on.
You need to pick up the pace on this stuff.
Oh, okay.
He submitted that one.
Sorry. Go ahead, Jared. You're first on the chopping block.
Talking to myself. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say Alex. This sounds like an Alex question.
The correct answer was Jared.
Do I get to say
Jared got a point.
I guess because
you submitted it.
You submitted a point. And I already answered.
And honestly, the reason I skipped you, Jared, is because Steph goes last, and it's just habit. So because she went before you, I just forgot that you didn't even say your answer.
You just forgot about me and that I exist.
Should have said it first.
Oh,
stick to the script, Jared.
I just All right, let's go on.
Next question should be a super short one. What is your favorite expletive? Come on, guys.
I know what it is, but Jared goes first.
Come on, Jared.
So something I like to exploit in, essentially.
No,
like
curse word.
Oh,
expletive.
Then I completely did not understand the meaning of the word.
Yeah, it's just like an expletive. Yeah.
My favorite curse word?
Sure.
Jeez, I don't know.
It would be oh shooty darn snippets.
Oh, dingle flap it.
Flip flappity blip blappity.
Shit. Because I say it probably more than any other one.
Steph.
The F word, because
what word?
The F word.
Yeah? What's that? Bart? Is it Frank?
This door is like made out of paper, and like my little brother is probably here, and I don't. Okay, and my parents are probably here, and they're not too keen on.
I agree. It would be fuck. There's just it's too
berries.
It's too
like,
good.
I don't know, there's something really satisfying because like it starts like really soft and then it just ends.
Well, not only that,
like,
but it's also it doesn't even start soft. Like it's still punchy. Like nobody goes fuck.
No, it's not.
It's punchy. It's fuck. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, it is.
Nope.
Yeah, it is.
I 100% disagree. Because there's so many movies these days that just use that as comedy. The F word is not funny.
There's so many
comedy. It's just a freaking word.
There's so many movies these days that use everything as comedy.
I know, but to use a word as comedy is just kind of lazy.
All words are comedy.
Well, I'm not using it for comedy, honestly. I just use it to.
If like a 3-year-old, it's like his first word's like fuck. That's not comedy to me. But see, you're laughing. See, I don't know. Like I just think that's stupid. Anyways, moving on.
Different strokes for different folks. I don't find it as funny, but I just use it because
to me, what was funny was your little. Fuck that just came out. Like that's what was funny to me.
Jared Jr.
I will never find that word funny. But anyway.
But what does that have to do with humor? We were talking about your favorite swear word. What does this have to do with humor?
I was building on why I was the thing I was talking about is like movies use it as comedy and stuff. Like it's this like word that's so awesome and magnificent. I just think it's just.
But the thing is, I don't think that it's necessarily for like comedy's sake. I think it's just a really powerful word that can really express, like, if you are doing it like a comedy movie where there's like, oh, swear, f, that's like stupid. But if somebody's just like, I'm gonna fuck you up, you know exactly what they're doing. They're meaning business. Like, it is a very powerful word.
And that's
why I like
it. Be like, I'm gonna punch you in the face and then the gut, and then I'm gonna uppercut you in the jaw.
I'm gonna fling my shit at you. No, but shit is also a really good word. That's a good word.
It's a really good like word if you say it quietly when you mess something up. or like when something's about to happen. It's usually kind of like something bad is happening and you're trying your best to stop it and it's not stopping. Like that's the moment when you use that word, because that's whenever I use it. Whenever
you
like,
use
I'm
it
picking up a
that,
box
or just when you're trying
and,
to make a
everything
point.
falls over and you're just like, ow.
Yeah,
So-
or when you're just trying to make a point, when you're trying to be...
I never use that word.
Never?
Never, just not.
Not Jared.
I mean, unless it's like you said, I'm trying to F someone up. I have a kid, man. I can't accidentally let that word slip out. So
Yeah, it's true.
I avoided
It's
it
true.
all.
Who submitted that one?
Wait, is it me first?
Yes.
I think that is a Dan.
I'm gonna say Dan as well because Dan's a sailor.
Somehow, while not being here, Alex got a point.
Oh,
That is
okay.
Alex's question.
Well,
I
There you
think I
go.
read too much into it because of your New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
That's what I get.
Next
Too obvious.
question. Would you rather live one life that lasted 1,000 years or 10 lives that lasted 100?
oh wait, Jared, you go first.
Alex didn't respond to this one, so I don't have an answer from him.
I would say 10 that lasted 100 because I mean, I think 1,000 years is just too long for a human to live. I think after 150 years, you'd get sick of it. You just get everybody you've known and love has died. So you're just like, all right, I guess I got to meet new people in my
You're
old
still
ass
probably going to
body.
outlive a lot of your friends and family, even if you only live to 100. Like, most people only live to, 80 or 90.
But I guess he starts with a new slate every time.
Yeah, but
but
can you
I don't
imagine
wanna
having to
know,
pretend to
like,
be a baby?
A bazillion generations. Like I get to meet my great grandchild and be like, hey, yeah. So
Greats.
what do you think? Like
Because you'd have to pretend to be a baby 10 times. You'd have to pretend. You'd have to go through school 10 times. You'd have to.
I wouldn't. I would do the 1,000-year thing because I wouldn't. I don't want to spend the first 20 years of my life 10 times. I don't want to. Like
You'd
that's
literally spend 100 of you'd spend 100 years in school. You'd spend 100 years in school.
that 10th year though, you would be like super experienced. You would know how to do everything. You'd be like,
I don't want to redo. That's the thing. I don't want to redo something. I want to do something new. I want to do something different. And it's like going through a game. Let's just say you're playing through a game or whatever, right? It's like, would you like to go through the tutorial? It is the 10th time you played this game. Do you hit yes? It's no.
It's like being able to do Fallout 4, and you can either play all the way to the end of Fallout 4, or you have to play the first 10% of it 10 times, and that's your duration.
But the thing is the question didn't specify that it has to be the exact same life. I mean, you could die and come back as
I mean, it's not going to be the exact same, but you still have to go to school. You still have to.
You still have to
do all
go
that
through the mandatory stuff before you get to life. Like, even if it's 100 years in the future, right? And I'm born again or whatever. I mean, school is still a thing. Growing up is still a thing. Listening to your parents is still a thing.
You can't just come out of your mom's vagina and be like, I'm leaving, and then just walk off.
You can't be independent. Like, until you hit, like, that, between 18 to 20 years, you can't hit that.
You know what would be a fun...
1,000-year life is a shitty one. You've got 1,000 years of shit.
You know what would be
that's not true. You make it.
You know what would be a fun little
around.
thing to add to this?
That's our life now.
And because I'm the host with the most, I can do this. You have to live either of these situations, but you have to keep people from finding out that it happened. If somebody finds out, let's say you're on year 230 and somebody finds out that you're 230 years old, then you die immediately. Like, that's pretty much what it is. Like, they can never know that you have this power. If you have that and you have the baby, I mean, you're going to act like a baby. You're going to goo goo gaga for 3.5 fucking years. Well, probably not that long, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
My answer doesn't change.
Now here's a question to the question, and I'm sure that question doesn't cover that.
To the question.
But when you pick the 1,000-year, do you still age, or do you stop aging at a certain point? If I'm 1,000 years old, will I become the most defunct, like, wrinkly monster?
Yeah, I'm the host, so I'm gonna say that you age like you normally would from 1 to 100, but over 1,000 years instead.
Okay,
So you could end up being 90 for 100 years.
You know what? Here's the thing. If I take care of myself, and I'm sure within that time span, I'm sure I have accrued or figured out ways to acquire money in a good fashion, I'd probably do like cutting edge surgery. What? And think about it. 1,000 years, that's a lot of...
I'm going to change it a little bit.
Okay.
Let's change that. You hit 25, and then you're 25 until the year 925, and then you age normally. Because then that's going to be rapidly. That's going to be a lot harder to keep a secret, and I think that makes it more interesting because you're putting the disadvantage with having to be a baby, but you're not getting too much of a disadvantage with the other one.
Okay.
So you'll be
every
like
10 years for 100 years. So from 10 to 20 takes 100 years. From 20 to 30.
No, that was the original, and then we changed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Jared said he'd rather do 10 lives at 100 years. Steph, what was your answer?
1,000 years still.
Yeah, man, because, I mean, my wife and my kid, pretty much my sole reason for living would be dead after.
I mean, that's why you find somebody new.
I don't want to spend 900 years with them gone.
You move on. You kind of
you still have to spend 900 years with them gone.
It'll just be over, and you get to experience the fruits
the beauty
of life.
The fruits of life. No, I mean, I like.
No, that's.
Yeah.
he makes a compelling argument.
Yeah, no, seriously, he does. Like, and you know what?
No, I'm just kidding.
Your answer is very valid, and that's a really good answer. But it does not fit to my needs or wants or whatever. Like, I'm not the type of person who would be so keen.
So what do you do when Dan dies?
Well, I would obviously mourn for a little bit, but I mean, what do vampires do when their loved one dies? I mean, they kind of, I mean, think about it. They have to move on. And, you know, as somebody who's like, I feel like I would adopt a mentality where it's just like you have to live life kind of like at the moment, and you just kind of have to play it by ear, you know?
Because it's vampirism or vampirism, whatever you call it, is a curse because it seems great at first, but 200 years down the road, it's not so great. I mean,
it's gonna suck, but I feel like it's gonna suck as equally, in my opinion, as living your life 10 years, even though it's like different parts of the timeline, you know?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go with 10 lives at 100 years just because I want the ability to just basically redo life the way that I wish that I would have done it beforehand. Like if you knew what you know right now and you went back to high school, you would run that motherfucker. You would run definitely. High school. You'd be the coolest kid.
Comes up to you'd have just freaking be like, really?
All those girls that you were too afraid to ask out. You could just do that time. You know, like you would run that bitch. I would probably do that.
There's
Think
two
about
types
it, because
of
you
people.
could learn kung fu in one of your lifetimes. Come
there
back,
go
to high school and be like, oh, so you're gonna pick on this hot chick?
Yeah.
And then be like, take the girl and then marry her. Maybe you don't like her. Next
there
life.
There are two types of people. I know you guys are just like, yeah, get the girl, run the school, be popular. And here I'm like, I should have studied more. I should have like focused on my academia.
But you could have done that academia. You could have done that for 1 year. Maybe 1 year, you're just like, I'm not going to have a social life. I'm just going to be all successful. I said 1 year. I meant one life. Just that's what you do, and then you can just carry that with you the next time you restart. Then you don't have to steal into the do school.
It's all one life. It's just you are
reset.
Going through the aging process.
Yeah, you reset.
I don't know, because like the fruits of your labor would be reset in a way. Because I mean, you start over without new name, new identity, new everything. Whereas if you're
you could be ugly the next time. You could be an ugly kid.
What is it that Shakespeare said? I think it's Shakespeare. Is youth is wasted on the young. So
yeah.
That's true.
Be old, be 1,000.
So that's what I would go with. Who submitted this one?
I think that is either Steph, Dan, Alex, or the internet, or myself.
It's a good choice.
I'm gonna say, going on a limb here, go against my gut, say Dan.
I'm gonna say the internet. While it's a really good Dan question, internet.
Duh internet. Excuse me.
What was your answer, Jared?
He said Dan.
No, I'm just
He
kidding.
said Dan.
I said Dan.
Jared got it right.
Oh no! Could have gone with my gut.
You were too quick to revise that.
I was like Dan, but I feel like this is a trick question because like it could be Dan. Because it sounds like a damn question, but
Jared has to go after this, so we'll do this one quick. Quick, short answers. Final question for today. You've been asked to provide a sex tip to a local magazine. What tip do you give?
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'll give them the tip, all right.
I'll give them more than just the tip.
I got all the tip they need.
Oh my God.
This is also a question Alex didn't answer, so we're on you, Jared.
Okay, so sex tip to a magazine. Don't as hard as it is for a man to change position once he's going. Don't be afraid to stop and switch it up a bit during the sexing, because it will go longer. That's so weird for me to answer that question.
I love it. I love it.
For me, it's practice excellent hygiene. Take care of your parts. Trim, be clean, because even though people could be like, oh, it's fun if it's, gross or wild, but no, it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference if you shower beforehand and take care of yourself, even as a maintenance regular time, because it makes a huge difference. Good impact. Good for your health, good for your partner, good for everybody around.
I gotta take a shower. Haven't showered in a month. No.
My tip.
I can see the grime from over here.
Yeah, that's
my tip, and I have a couple justifications, so don't get too far ahead of me when I say this. Don't wear condoms. Reason number 1, feels way better without condoms. Reason number 2, there's the thrill factor. It's like when you go in without a condom, it's like playing bowling without the guardrails,
It's playing Russian roulette.
You don't know, when you got the condom on, it's just like you can throw that ball however you want. It'll just fucking bounce and hit some pins. This way, thrilling. Reason number 3, if you do fuck up, get some nice tax stuff. You get some more money off.
Do the first half without it, and then when it starts getting to a certain point, and you'll know what that point is, then you
just pull out, rip it off, and just slam right back in.
Yeah, you just have it within hand's reach, and you're like, just pull out, whip, whoop, and then go back right into it. I don't know what. I'm very handsy, but
very handsy.
So that would be my addendum to what you said. So that's what I do.
That's my answer.
All right, everybody
don't practice safe sex.
Who
Who
submitted this question?
I think that's. Oh wait, who's going?
Go ahead, Jared.
Whatever.
It's you.
I think that's totally an Alex question.
I'm going to say Dan.
And Steph was right.
Yes.
It was a me question.
Because while that would be like an
Alex
type question, I feel like Alex is too awkward to ask that question. Like, I think Dan
she's starting
is more...
to think, man. This was the point of it. This was the point. You gotta analyze your friends.
You guys could have had this conversation the other night, for all I know. I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm not digging any deeper.
We don't talk about sex.
Yeah, we don't
even do it. We're completely...
No, we don't even... we literally has never even come up.
Nope, never. We just stare at each other.
Actually, this conversation is the most we've had in terms of talking about it.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was even interested.
Wait, so sex is on the table?
Yeah, it's on the table, on the kitchen counter, on the TV set,
Well, anyways, that's none of my business. I'll just kind of...
I want to know who she's been having sex with the kitchen table, the kitchen counter, and the TV set with. That's what I want to know. And how'd you even get up there? It's all the way on top of that fucking cabinet.
Sex with the kitchen cabinet.
It's not my TV set. I'm not talking about my kitchen counter, my table.
You're talking about his
TV set. I'm talking about.
Just sitting on the dryer. I don't know. Anyways, that was a nice little ending question there. Always got to end with the old weird sex, uncomfortable.
Jared, get us out of here.
We're very open here, the Grunting Pixel.
Yeah.
Very open.
Open.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Say open. Anyways.
Leave your responses down below to the stuff we talked about in the beginning or your answers to these questions. Submit questions if you'd like them right on the show. I've been the Grunting Pixel. Been Jared. Step.
Hey.
Alex will hopefully be back next week. Will he be here next week? I don't know. Maybe he'll be next.
Well, he's making my game next week, so I assume he's going to be here. So,
and we'll see you next time.
Boy.
See y'alls.